Today we are going to make these AirPod puppy cases. And it all started with this little goof thing. This is what we're going to do. Little AirPod case. So what you're going to need is, first you're going to need a hot glue gun. I've already got mine plugged in and going. You need your tapestry, some scissors, a couple of stitch markers so we can tag where we're going to put the ears and make sure it's counted out. And we're going to use a 5.0 millimeter crochet hook. You are also going to need some buttons. This one is it's from Hobby Lobby. It's the Sewology. They have a bunch of like different size buttons in there. And this one that we're using today, it comes to, oh, you can't even see me. Where are you at? It comes to about a 1/2 inch. Okay, just a smidge over 1/2 inch. I think the big boo-boo eyes will be great for this. So that's the buttons I'm going to use. And let's see what else. Probably need some yarn. And I'm going through my scraps. So I've been like tearing through some scraps. I've got some projects for us. I think this is Red Heart with Love. I don't know, it's like a teal color. And then just some gray. I'm going to try these colors today. Okay, so go get your supplies and I will meet you right back here. Alrighty, let's get started here. So I'm going to start in the back. Okay, that's where we're starting. Now, what we're going to do is we are going to start with a magic circle, or if you don't want to do that, you can do a chain 2 and do all your stitches in the first chain, but leave yourself about 8 or 10 inches so that you can sew that at the end to close up your hole. So we'll start with a magic circle. Okay. And also, as just a friendly reminder, make sure that on your magic circle, your tail is going in the direction that you are crocheting. Okay, so we got our circle. Now we're going to chain up 2. 1, 2. And that's going to count as our first double crochet. We're going to yarn over, go back into our circle, pull up a loop, yarn over, go through 2, yarn over, go through 2. That's our second double crochet. We're going to do 16 total. Show you again. Yarn over, go into your circle, pull up a loop, yarn over, go through 2, yarn over, go through 2. And before we go on, so we just did our third one. 1, 2. This is the top of that chain 3. Well, we did a chain 1 to hold it, and then we did a chain 2, but here's the top of that chain. So if you need to put a stitch marker in there right now, go ahead and do that, because it disappears when we do chains like that. So carry on and make sure you have 16 total, including that chain 2 and 16. Now I'm going to turn this out, and I'm just going to go under 1 loop. If you want to go under 2, that's fine. Doesn't matter. Slip stitch to join. Okay. All right. So that is round 1. Now we're going to chain up 2. 1, 2. And in that same spot that we joined, Okay, and if you pull it, you can see the little hole opening. We're going to put a half double crochet in there. Sorry, yarn over, go into that hole, pull up a loop. You've got 3 loops, yarn over, and go through all 3. Sometimes it's tricky on that first one. So now we have 2 half double crochets. So again, if you need to go ahead and put a stitch marker there, feel free. Just helps to know what you're looking at, you know. Now in this next and following stitches, we're going to put 2 half double crochets in each stitch. So at the end of this row, we're going to have 32 half double crochets. So let me show you again on a half double crochet. Yarn over, go under both loops, yarn over and pull up a loop, and then yarn over and go through all 3. Yarn over, go back into where we just were, pull up a loop, yarn over, and go through all 3. So we've got 4 half double crochets. So we're just going to continue with 32 half double crochets at the end of this row. Coming at the end, I'm going to count back real quick. Put my tail out of the way. 1, 2. Those were hard to see. So I've got 2 more. 1 and 32. Now, this is a point where people get confused. There is the slip stitch right there. Okay, that next little stitch, it always looks like it's facing upwards. That's the chain 1. And then the next one would be your chain 2. Looks like a hot mess, doesn't it? Okay. So normally another easier way is, I'm just going to stretch it apart here a little bit. I'm going to count 3. There's my last stitch right there. 1 V, 2 V. Well, normally it would be the 3rd V. That's usually going to be your first stitch that you would be going into. So we're going to join with the slip stitch to the top of that chain 2 that we did. Pull through and pull through. There you go, round 2, chain 1. And now for this 3rd row, we're going to go 1 single crochet in each stitch around for a total of 32 single crochets. So we did a chain 1. We're going to go right back into there, right where we joined. Pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through both loops. 1 single crochet. Now, see if you pull this apart, you can see this stitch right here, that half double crochet. If you look to the left, and if you're right, it'll be to your right. If you're righties, you're going to see that there's a stitch there. That's the top of this one. And if you miss it, then your stitch count is going to be off. So I'm going to just pull it apart, and I'm going to go right in there with a single crochet. That's my second one. So now that chain 2 and that first half double crochet both have a single crochet in it. And now I can carry on and do 1 single crochet in each stitch. Okay, we should have 32. lot of times when you join, if you did miss that first one, you kind of can make it up in the slip stitch from the row before. You can kind of add your stitch there. All right, 32. So again, you pull it apart. You can see there's the slip stitch. There's that funky looking chain 1, and then here's our first stitch. And that's what I'm going to join to. Pull through, pull through. Okay, now we're going to add this tag thing. So we're going to chain up 26. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 25 and 26. And I did this by, I needed it to go around. So that's kind of a, just a pull, halfway tight fit. So if you want to add a couple chains and you want it to be looser to go around, this, here's your time right now. But I like the 26. Got to give you options, you know. And then right where I started, which I pull it up, I can see it's right there. That's where I'm going to join. Right back in there with a slip stitch. Pull through and pull through. And I'm going to chain 1. Fasten off. I'm just going to do my regular finger length here. Okay. And now, if you did the chain 2, we can go ahead and close that up. If you did the magic circle with me, this is just, you know, here's your overkill for the video. I'm just going to take this tail and I'm going to weave it down. To meet my other tail. Okay. And then I'm going to pull that magic circle closed, and then I'm going to tie this in a square knot. Oops, not too tight though. Not that first one. And then the second one. There. Now I don't have to worry about that. You can weave it in if you want, but this is where I'm at. Come join me. All right, so there's our back. There's the back. Now for the front, it's the same thing. 16 double crochets, join. 32 half double crochets, join. And then 1 single crochet, join. So go ahead and get that part started, and then come back and we will do the little loop. Okay, meet you back. Also, a little side note, if your stitches start feeling like they're like too crowded, just do that. Just pull it. I do that quite often, actually. The yarn is like, this yarn feels a little bit thinner and it keeps bunching up, so when I'm counting back and whatever, I'll just pull stitches a little bit and it makes it easier to see. Okay, I'm back around and I'm going to join to my first single crochet. So again, slip stitch, baby chain 1, first stitch. Okay, and that's where we're at on this one. And now for the loop, we're going to just chain 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then again, straight into where we joined. And pull it up to see it. Go in there and slip stitch. And I'm going to chain 2 on this one, give it a little extra security to fasten off. And I apologize for the lighting. It's so overcast. It's been raining all day. We may even get snow here in Oklahoma. It's crazy. Okay. And that's what that looks like. And again, I'm going to do this bit to keep my circle from taking off somewhere. Doing that. You can also put a little fabric glue on that, or some tacky glue. And that is what that looks like. Okay, stretch that out a little. Now we're going to do the ears. And I think I'm going to do my ears in the gray to give myself some contrast, like this. All right, back with our H hook. We're going to leave a tail, because this is what we're going to sew the ear on. And I don't know, 9-10 inches, something like that. I'm going to do a slip knot. Okay, here we go. And here we go. We're going to chain 2. 1, 2. Into that first chain. So 1, 2. The first chain, we're going to put 2 single crochets. Just go under 1 loop. It's fine. There's 1. And I'm holding on to that knot for security. And I'm going to go back in there, pull up a loop, and do my second single crochet. There we go. Now we're going to chain 1 and turn. And now we have 2 stitches. Ignore this. This is the chain 1. And in this first one, we're going to do an increase. We're going to put 2 single crochets. And in this next one, we're going to put 1 single crochet. So we'll have 3. 1, go back into that first one, 2, and then we're going to put a single crochet in that chain there. So now we have 3. 1, 2, 3. Chain 1, turn. And then now what we're going to do is we're going to put 1 single crochet in this first one. In the second chain, we're going to put an increase of 2 single crochets. So that is 1 and 2. And then in the last single crochet, pull it if you need it. 1 single crochet. Now we have 4. Chain 1, turn, 1 single crochet. Now in the next stitch, we're going to do an increase. So it'll be 2 single crochets, 1 and 2. And then in the last 2, put 1 single crochet, 1 single crochet. So now we went from 4 to 5 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Chain 1, turn. And now for the last row, we're going to put 1 single crochet. In the next stitch, we're going to put a half double crochet. So we're going to yarn over, go into that next stitch, pull up, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, yarn over. There's 1 half double crochet. Now we're going to put another half double crochet, another half double crochet, and then a single crochet. So yarn over, pull up a loop and go through all 3. That's the second half double crochet. We're going to do another half double crochet. And then the last stitch is a single crochet. So it gives it this little, well, let me fasten off. Chain 1 and fasten off. So it gives us a little bell, just a little bell. Now, we're going to repeat that. I'll move just a smidge faster. So here's my tail to sew it on. Slip knot, chain 2. 1, 2. 2 single crochets in that first chain. 1 and 2. Hold all that, chain 1, turn. Little bits are fiddly. Now I'm going to put an increase in the first one. That's 2 single crochets. 1 and 2. And then a single crochet into the next one. 3. Chain 1, turn. With our 3 single crochets, 1, 2, 3, that's a chain 1. We're going to do single crochet, increase, single crochet. We'll have 4 single crochets in the end of this row. Chain 1, turn. We're going to do a single crochet in the first one, an increase in the next one. And by the way, it doesn't matter if you do an increase in the second one or you do an increase in the third one. Doesn't matter. Increase, and then a single crochet in the next, and then a single crochet in the last. Chain 1, turn. For our last row, we're going to do a single crochet followed by half double crochet, half double crochet, half double crochet, single. Half double crochet, next stitch, half double crochet, and single. Fasten off. Chain 1, fasten off. There we go. I'm going to sew in these in real quick, just through the back here real quick, and I'll meet you right back. All right, we've got those. Okay, now what we're going to do is, here's the front side, here's the front side. We're going to turn it upside down on the one with the chain. And this is the front side, this is the back side. It's going to go on there. So it's going to be the back side and the back side together. And then the good side and the good side are facing out. And so what I did is I just like stuck it through there just to hold it for me. Okay, this is where we're going to need our stitch markers. Okay, for this one. It is a bit of a knotted mess and it's going to be hard to see, but this is the chain that we stitched into. I'm not going to count that. I'm going to go to the one I can see. So it'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In the 5th stitch, I'm going to put a stitch marker. Okay. Now on the other side, you can see that that is that, what is that? That is where we slip stitched right there. This is the chain. I am going to count this one. Okay, here's where the chain starts. So it'll be 1, 2, 3, 4. And now here's the 5th chain. Okay, now we can take these off for now. Okay, so basically you're just going to look at it in case you want to make any changes, because this is where the ears are going to go. Okay, and And that looks pretty even to me. So that's where I'm going to go. And if you want them a little bit down more, go down another stitch, it's fine. It's whatever you want to do. So we're going to string up our ear. And there really isn't no right or wrong way to do this. Now, I'm going to be putting my eyes somewhere in this row here. So I'm trying to line up my ear with that. Okay, I don't want it to go over too far. So I'm going to line it up to where it kind of meets that second, or that, you know, that ring right there. That's how I'm gauging this. So it's hard to see. I'm going to try and do my best here. So I'm just going to go in this first loop, and I'm going to go in that 5th chain and just pull that through. Okay, and I'm going to hold it. It's basically kind of like I split it in half. Here's, right here in the middle is the outside of this ring. And I want mine to tack down. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back up from the back side, and I'm pulling it up. I'm just keeping it and keeping an eye on where this line is. You can certainly pull it out more or whatever you want to do. And then I'm just going to pick another stitch or two over in the middle and go back down. Keep an eye on my situation here. Go back up and go back down and then come back up. Okay, and then I'm going to just go over one stitch and go back down. There, like that. Now for the back, just going to tie it on here. Just go up some stitches. Nobody's going to see all this, but you know, for some reason I don't want it to be too much of a hot mess. And then I am going to tie another knot. And then I'll just poke it through, pull it out. Okay, let's do the other one. Can you hear the wind out there? Crazy. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and get I think this one, I'm going to go ahead and poke it through. And then I'm going to go to that 5th loop there. Go through both loops, by the way. Probably good to know. And this is my front side, and this is the back side. You can see it looks kind of different. And again, I'm going to line it up with that middle circle. That looks like it's even with the other one. So I'm going to pinch it. I kind of found if I turn it sideways like this, it's easier for me. So I'm just going to poke it up through the middle. And then here we go. Just tacking it down is really all we're doing. One for overkill. There. Now again on the back, I'm going to just tack it all. Go through some loops before I pull it through, grab it. My fingers are like not working today. That's fine. We're just going to do this. Okay. guess my hands are the boss of me today. All right, there we go. That'll work. That will work. So now what we're going to do is you can take those out. Now for the back side, we got to do that 5 chain thing again. So this is the back side, so it looks a little weird. So we're just going to turn it to us, and we're going to count. This is where the chain starts, right there. So this is that slip stitch, I think it is. So here's that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Because we're sewing this together, we want these to line up as best we can. Here's the other side. And I'm not counting any of this mess in here. I'm going to start with a stitch I can actually see, which is this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Now I'm going to join mine. And this is where you're going to decide what color do you want to sew it on with. You can see on this one, I did a different color, and the rest of these, ignore those eyes, and the rest of these I did the front color, which I think is what I'm going to do on this one. I'm going to get my yarn set up in my hand. Okay. And then I'm going to go in that 5th stitch. And I'm going to go in this other 5th stitch. I'm going to grab my yarn and pull it up and chain 1. Now I'm joined. Don't worry about this tail, we'll sew it in later. And then basically all we're doing is we're going to slip stitch all the way around. Is we're just going to line up the stitches as best we can and do a slip stitch. It doesn't have to be perfect. Okay, and so this is what we're going to do. We're just trying to get all the stitches to match up. Going through both loops. And just going to keep going here. Where I'm going to start looking to make sure those are lined up. I'm just going to stretch it. Sometimes that gets you where you need to be. Let's see here. See, like for me, obviously something is amiss because here's my 5th stitch right up here, and I'm at my 5th stitch here. So you know what? I'm just going to do another one in here. I'm just telling the whole internet what I'm doing. And then I'm going to do one in that 5th stitch because I still have 2 stitches. And then I'm at my 5th stitch, and I'm going to go in the 5th stitch on the back. That's how you can make this work. You know, you can't really tell. Well, I mean, obviously you can close up, but can you now? Now, stop here at the 5th stitch, and now we're not going to mess with the back. We're just going to mess with the front. Just so we have a uniformed look, we want to slip stitch in the front piece only. Okay, there's the next one, and go into that last one. And then we're going to skip where this loop is. And we're going to go straight over from the last stitch here to the first stitch here with a slip stitch. And then you're just going to finish these last 4. 2, 3, and 4. And then I'm going to go one more time into the 5th stitch with a slip stitch, and then I'm going to chain 2 to make it extra secure. You can really tag on that bad boy. Take out our little loopy things. Okay, and so it gives it that finished look. Now, all I'm going to do is sew in these bits. And all I'm going to do is open it up, and I'm just going to sew it here on the back, okay? And I'm going to bring this one and bring it over here. That's all I'm doing. That's all sorted. Now, we can stretch it. We can get it to relax a little bit. Now let's get some eyeballs. And the way I'm going to place these, like I think I had already mentioned, is I'm going to be on this round. So I'm just going to lay them out so I can see. And since these have got like hole buttons, you see the line in there? I'm going to make sure that the lines are lined up correctly. Like that. Yeah, that'll work. Come here, hot glue gun. Okay. Let's glue them on. Okay, no going back now. There we go. And I didn't put them on most of them, but I did put a little mouth on that. That was my mistake. I was trying to do something, but it didn't work out. But for some reason, I just don't like it with the mouth. But I'm going to show you how to do it in case. So I guess you will need some black yarn. I'm going to go get that real quick. Be back. This is bonus if you want extra on your little puppy. Black scrap, 8-10 inches. This is just a very simple mouth. So I'm going to get my fingers under there so I can feel myself here. And it doesn't matter where you go in. I think I'm just going to go in here at the bottom. I'm just making sure I'm not going through. And I'm going to kind of see where I want it. And I think I'm going to follow along this line as well. No, I think I'm going to go up a little bit. Wherever you want the widest part of your smile. Okay, pull it up like that. So I guess I'm going to be in line with my eyeball. And then I'm going to go over the top. My finger in there. And I'm going to line it up with the other line here. Poke it. Okay. And then I'm going to go just a smidge down in the middle. So we came here, we went up where we wanted it, took it over the top, and now we're going underneath, and we're coming out in the middle of our face. Now before we pull this too much, okay, well, I guess it doesn't matter, we can still do it. Okay, pull this out, and before we go too much. I'm going to go underneath that top thing. Just go underneath. And then we're going to come back down. And right where we came out at, we're going to go back into that bit. And then we're going to come back out where we started. This is not a strong suit. I can do that mouth. But what it's going to do is that it's going to pull it down and tack it down. So you get a little face. And you don't even have to go down that far. You can just, I mean, it's however you want. It could be the strongest V ever. Now I'm just going to tie that. Okay, tie that. Tie it one more time. Cut those bits off. And then pop it through. Okay, there we go. There we go. That's it. Where's my AirPods? Okay. I like the big puppy eyes. And then it hangs straight. That's why we do the chain, the loop in the back. Ask me how I know. So there you go. Puppy AirPod case. Okay, I guess you don't need to see it like that. This was my mistake. We're going to ignore that. I'm going to cut those out. And there we go. What do you think of these colors? What color are you going to do? Actually, it's my favorite. Okay. Alrighty, guys. I'm going to get started on some more tutorials. We're going to be going into some flowers and plants. And until I see you, guys take care, be safe, and have a great weekend. Bye. More than we need. I always say 8 to 10 inches or whatever. Oops, that's not what I meant to do. I always say 8 to 10 inches, and I really don't even know. So there's that. Ignore that. Now we're going